All right, when you're doing elimination, your first step is to look at the coefficients, the numbers in front of the variables. The x coefficients are positive 8 and negative 3. The coefficients of y are positive 1 and positive 1. So if we just added those equations together, nothing would cancel out. We'd get 5x and 2y. But we want the variables to cancel out. And to do that, we need them to be the same value but opposite. The y's are the same value, but they're not opposite. They're both positive 1. So one variable is the same but not opposite. When that happens, there's a simple trick you can do. You can make them the same and opposite by multiplying one of the equations by negative 1. So we're going to multiply everything in the top equation. We could do the top or the bottom, but I like to do the top equation. That way you can write the answer below the second equation. So we're going to multiply everything in the top equation by negative 1. So you have to make sure you're multiplying all three terms by negative 1. The reason we're allowed to do this is you can do anything to an equation as long as whatever you do to the left side, you also do to the right side. All right, and I'm going to write the answer below there. So negative 1 times 8x, negative 8x. 1y times negative 1 is negative 1y, which we can just write minus y. And negative 16 times negative 1 is positive 16. All right, now that we multiplied, these two equations are the ones we're going to add together. So step 1 is multiply one equation by negative 1. And after you multiply, you're going to add the equations together. All right, so negative 3x plus negative 8x is negative 11x. And y minus y cancels out. So we eliminated the y variable. Now negative 5 plus 16 is positive 11. Last step for solving for x, divide by negative 11 on both sides. And that gives us x equals negative 1. So after you multiply by negative 1 and add, you solve for the first variable. Now that we know that x is negative 1, we can substitute it into either of the two original equations, or you could even do the one that you multiplied, but usually the original ones are easier. So substitute it into one of the original equations. I'm just going to pick the top one and solve for y. All right, so I'll rewrite the top equation with negative 1 in place of x. So we'll multiply, that's negative 8. Add 8 to both sides. And we have y equals negative 8. So our last step, make sure you write the answer as an ordered pair. So you do x and then y. Don't forget the parentheses. All right, let's do one more example. So the coefficients of x are different values. The coefficients of y are the same value, but they're not opposite. So let's multiply one of those equations by negative 1. I'm going to pick the top. And then when we multiply, we get negative 7x minus 2y equals negative 24. Then we add them together. 8x minus 7x is 1x. 2y minus 2y cancels out. And then 30 plus negative 24 is positive 6. And we don't have to divide by the coefficient because it's already 1x. So sweet, we have our x value. Let's plug it into one of the equations, the top. So we have 7 times 6 plus 2y equals 24. 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract 42 on both sides. So 2y equals negative 18. And then when we divide, we get y equals negative 9. So our final answer is 6, negative 9. Thanks for watching. Hope that helps.